Welcome. Welcome to a brand new episode. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm kind of pissed. I'm kind of annoyed. I was 25 minutes into filming this freaking episode, and then my computer decided to act brand new. She decided to act brand new. She was like, actually, I'm only going to get 25 minutes of what you said, even though you feel like you've been going for 30. I do feel like I've been going for 30. My camera is at half of battery, right? So we're going to do the episode like this. This episode may be shorter because like I actually have to time myself now. But it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And yeah, we're going to have a great time. Just to start off, just to start off on our cold opening, I have recently watched Nobody Wants This, and I'm starting to not want it. I'm starting to not want it. And yes, today's episode is not about it, but it's just like I've been watching it, so it's on my mind. For one, don't like Noah anymore. Definitely got turned off. Like my love for him, well, as a character, my love for him was at like a 10 first season, right? And now it's like at a stark negative 10. It's at a negative 10. Yeah, did he cheat? No. Did he do something incredibly irritating? Absolutely. But I won't tell you in case you want to continue watching. Not continue watching it. In case you haven't watched it. Yeah, I won't tell you. Because mostly today's episode isn't about that. It is about our lovely two guests. Well, I'll get into that. We have two guests today. But yeah. So let's roll that intro. Let's roll it. Let's roll that intro. Let's roll it. Please roll the intro. Thank you. Welcome to Ramblings of an Extra with yours truly, your Nyah Papaya. I'm joking. With yours truly, Nyah. Today's episode we have two amazing guests. Okay, two amazing guests, and I'm gonna have to rush through before my camera dies. Okay, so we got the amazing, the fabulous Gen V. Yes, applause. She is amazing. She is hot. She is cool. She is fabulous. And then we have Southern Fried Rice. Yeah, she's there. She exists. Yeah, okay. But we're going to go through her first so I can get into my lovely, lovely guest. Hi, Gen V. Hi. So let's get into it. Okay. So we're just going to speed run through my problems of this show, but let me set the stage, okay? This show has been something I have been hearing about constantly. Over and over again on my FYP, on my Instagram. Instagram seems to love it a little bit more than TikTok. I'm not on Twitter anymore as much as I as much as I used to. I was never really a Twitter person anyway. But yeah, it's there. It's there. It functions. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about Southern Fried Rice. So let me set it up. Okay, it is a show that is produced and developed by the Keke Palmer. Its writer is Nakia Stevens, and director is Shyla Raquel. Okay, it is a digital series that premieres on YouTube of Kia TV, a digital media company that is owned by Keke Palmer. All right, the company was founded on employing people of color and giving, minority people, I feel like I'm not reading this right. Minorities voices in media, which is honestly, it's just right up my alley. I just love giving representation to minorities of people because it's really hard for us to get our stories out there and to be seen. So I'm all for that. But then they put out Southern Fried Rice, and it is something. It is something. So today we're going to be talking about it. Let me get out my lovely synopsis of Southern Fried Rice, of this amazing show that someone thought was a good idea. Okay. Okay. I have in my phones. Okay. Southern Fried Rice is a web series that follows Coco Johnson. Coco, K-O-K-O, Johnson, a Korean American woman who was adopted and raised by a black family. The synopsis centers on her navigating and, exploring a fictional HBCU and grappling with how others see her and how she sees herself. The series was created by Nyah Stevens and is a part of Keke Palmer's Key TV network. Now, when this trailer first came out, people had their reactions, as you could tell, right? People had reactions to it. But it was it's a show. My reaction to it, first clip that I ever saw of this show. Well, let me tell you the whole story. So when I heard this title, I was like, I could really care less. I can actually care less. I don't care. And I mostly said, I don't care because like it wasn't on cable, it wasn't gonna be on streaming, so I was just like, I don't really care. Like it's like it's like meh. Like maybe I'll see it on YouTube one day and like like it, but like it was under my radar. But then I heard this lovely quote straight from the show: "I don't have to study Black culture because I lived it." Said by our lovely main character, Coco Johnson. Now, when I saw that clip of her saying that, and the antagonist, when I saw the antagonist of the story, Joy, a plus size Black woman, much like myself, I was like, oh, so that's what we're doing. Feels very 2000s of you. Feels very 2000s of you. Feels very 90s of you. And I'm saying times where I wasn't even born, because when you look back, those shows and movies did do a lot of underhanded shit. Okay. And this feels like underhanded shit, right? Okay. At least from that quote, and that came from the second episode. So yeah, this show is just so lovely and amazing, and it gets you hooked right from the beginning, right? Right? The answer is right. Okay. So I watched five episodes of this thing. It has 7 episodes in total, but I, Nyah, your lovely host, watched 5 and decided to stop because I love my brain and I want to keep it right here in my head. Okay. So, I had a few notes. First note, spoilers incoming. First note, they have like the background information first episode about Coco and her whole life. And I immediately said, why does this animated thing look like episode? Like if you watch it, it reminds you, if anyone has seen the web, I don't even want to say web app. It was an app on your phone. It was called Episode. I'm pretty sure it's still around. I used to love that shit when I was little, but yeah, it looked like Episode. It looked like an animated episode. But yeah, that was one note I had. Also, Tammy is Coco's best friend, right? And they originally had a deal between one another where they would take a year off right after they graduated high school and then go to college together. But then Coco got off the wait list for the school that she's going to, for the HBCU that she's going to. So Coco decided to take the chance. So now Tammy reveals when they're dropping her off, because Tammy and her mom go to drop Coco off. Tammy and Coco's mom go to drop Coco off at the school. Tammy reveals, hey, through dialogue, that she is pregnant and she is working at Walgreens, and she pushed herself her whole life, went to AP classes, really tried to evolve as a person so she doesn't end up like her mom, right? Okay, none of that worked out because now she's pregnant, working at Walgreens, and she's not going to college, and her parents and her family want her to keep this baby. And she obviously does not want to keep this baby. And you go, girl, because it's your life and you're 17. So if you don't want to keep the baby, don't keep that baby. But I don't know why that's such a crazy opinion. Okay. So yeah, Tammy establishes this. And honestly, after Tammy established that, I was just like, okay, why isn't the show about her? Why isn't the show about her? It just feels more logical. You know, it feels more logical if this show was about Tammy, but it is not about Tammy. It's about Coco, who grew up with her parents and lived on cornbread.
Well, I was raised on catfish, cornbread, and do you have McDonald's money?
Such a wasted opportunity. Anyway, like I also wrote here, it feels like a lot of research was not done for this show, but we'll get back to that after I'm done with my whole synopsis. But yeah, another thing, and my whole meat of my problem about this show is that this show hates to get into, what's the word? The meat of what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, let's go down. Let's get into my, I was supposed to say je ne sais quoi. That is not the word that I was thinking of. Let's get into my brain. Let's get into the membrane of my head. Let's get in. Okay? Let's get in. So I watched 5 episodes of this thing. Okay? My brain was mush. All right? My brain would have had a better time if I watched several episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants. Just to set the scene. And I love SpongeBob SquarePants. Don't judge me. Okay. But my main problem with this show was that it felt like while I was watching the show, it felt like I was watching Monster High again as a kid. Like how, if you guys remember how Monster High was, it was like it was an animated show. It was for kids. It had its establishing issue, and then it was like little short form episodes of Monster High and just like of animated shows for kids. It wasn't nothing too deep, right? Okay. This show felt like that, and that's a problem because it's dealing with a very heavy topic of who should be allowed to go to HBCUs, who goes to HBCUs, what happens at HBCUs. Is Black culture something that you could simply live with and just completely grasp? The answer is no. But yeah, you know, like it's dealing with a lot of topics with involving Black and Asian communities. So I don't think, obviously it shouldn't be formatted like a kids show. But I'll get into why I feel like it's formatted like a kids show. So it has this problem of just having establishing. Now I'm about to flaunt here. As you know, I'm in film school. Okay, I'm in film school. And I have taken a writing for TV class. Now, in my writing for TV class, I learned about 4 things that need to be on your plot line, right? And sitcoms typically have 3 plot lines, right? They have, 3 plot lines, 4 aspects of one plot line, right? So they have establishing, false victory, retreat, and victory, right? These are your 4 aspects, okay? Establishing, it's ignored. You establish your problem and your characters. And false victory, it is what it says. It's a false victory. It's when your character thinks, oh yeah, I solved that problem. That problem is behind me now. And then usually at the end of this false victory, it shows that it's a false victory. The problem isn't over. If anything, it maybe gets worse or it's just still there, right? And then you have your retreat where the character's like, okay, all right, okay. That last thing that I did didn't work, but now I'm going to try again. Right? So this is what happened. That's what happens in the retreat. And then they try again, and then we get into our victory, which typically happens in Act 3, and that's when the episode really starts to wrap up, right? So that's just how one plot line goes. In a regular sitcom, there's 3 plot lines. There's 3 of those things working at the same time. I know, crazy, right? Crazy. If you ever notice, I know I blew your mind with that, right? So, and in dramas, it's like 4 I think it's 4 different plot lines in dramas. So in this show, I completely understand. It's a web series. It only has 12 to 15 minutes to work with, right? Okay. So I completely understand if it's like, I can only have one plot line. That's great. That's awesome. But it only functions in establishing. And I'm going to get more into that. There was one episode, I forgot the number, but my point still stands. Coco was in a class, and pretty much the teacher was going over how DEI, going back to real life, right? DEI is something that is under attack in society right now, right? DEI, and just telling the full story of history is actively under attack at this moment. I mean, it's always been under attack, but it's even more under attack now due to current administration and due to just the political atmosphere of the world right now, right? Okay. So the teacher establishes that Coco joins into the conversation and another Black woman in the class join in as well. At the end of the class, Coco's professor, invites her and the Black woman that also spoke out during the conversation to a kind of club sorority type of thing at the HBCU called Women of Excellence. Whoa, if I might add, right? So the professor invites them, and Coco's like, cool, amazing, awesome. She's reading the pamphlet, and the pamphlet says casual business attire, right? And then Coco, like every person, I guess that's one humanizing trait of her, human trait of her, where she's looking up on TikTok. Hey, TikTok. What casual business attire is, just like any other 20, college person would do. So yeah, she's looking it up. She bumps into, I'm going to really gloss this over because I don't really care about this plot line. Maybe it's because of how it was written. Anyway, she bumps into the her RA's, situationship, right? She bumps into the RA situationship. And her RA situationship is also in the sorority and gives her tips on how she should dress, and Coco takes it, and then she goes into her room with like I pointed out before, Joy, the antagonist of the story, the plus size Black woman, right? If I didn't point that out, I literally, this is my second take of this episode. Be nice to me. Okay, yes, but I'll say it once again. Joy is our antagonist of this. I say antagonist because it's so dumb. Anyway, she's the antagonist of the story. She is Coco's roommate. So Coco points out to Joy, who also got a pamphlet, that they're supposed to go in casual business wear. And I guess this was an attempt at building a bridge between 2 characters, right? Okay, so the episode goes on. They go to the meeting. End of episode. See, now, my problem with that episode was that we had this whole thing of, oh my gosh, the sorority, oh my gosh, it's so amazing, Coco got invited, Coco needs to dress a certain way to go to the meeting, she did dress a certain way, she's in the meeting. End of episode. That's my problem. It feels like we have like a lot of establishing shit, but we're not going through with it. And that's why it feels like so many of these episodes are formatted like Monster High was, or if any of you guys watch Disney Channel, and like in the commercials, because Disney Channel had like I forgot what they had. They had like, they're not like regular channels where like they have like commercials from anywhere. They had like their own commercials. And then and on Disney Channel, they had like their little webtoon commercials. And like, it felt like that. We had like our little story, and then that's it. And that's it. And I think that episode was around 12 to 15 minutes long, like the other episodes they have. So that's my main problem with this show. It just feels like we have something, but then we have nothing again. And it's annoying because right after that episode, we had another, we didn't expand on what just happened on the last episode. No, we expanded on Coco's dating life. Like I wrote here, issues established in at least the 5 episodes that I've watched. Difficult classes, her relationship with her love interests, her relationship with Tammy, her failing scholarship because FAFSA's a dick, surprise, surprise, and that she needs to get a work study, and that her antagonist in her life is Joy. That is what was established, and that is all we have. And it feels like this could have been a movie. I think it could have been a movie. And that's not me saying, oh, this is such an amazing idea, oh my gosh, you're so smart. No, it's mostly me saying this could have just been a movie idea. Okay. As a premise, I mostly share the same sentiments of people online. You know, it should have just been about a Black woman. It should have just been about Black women. I feel like my second to last note on this topic, I feel like in a place where you have shows like Issa Rae show, Insecure, and you have so much of good representation like Sinners and Abbott Elementary, right? You have so many instances of this is the kind of representation that Black people should have. And then you come out with something that should have been put out in the 2000s, that could have been put out in the 2000s and been well received. It just feels like we're not knowing our timing, and it also feels like we're not understanding that we're in a different age of representation at this time. Just saying, because like, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this. I don't think there was any person of Asian descent on that production company, you know, helping develop it or helping write it. At least to my knowledge. I could be proven wrong. But I think the show could have definitely prospered from that. I share the same sentiment. If it was a white production company, anyway, if it was a white production company doing a show about Black people, a Black person should be, you know, behind the camera as they are in front. I share the same sentiments. I think there needs to be balance, and there wasn't. I think when you have a main character that you're saying this character is of Asian descent, then is Asian American, then an Asian American should be a part of the developing process, or at least the research process. And it brings me into my other nitpick. Well, not nitpick. It shouldn't be a nitpick. Yes, I'm about to brag once again. I am in film school, and just for my final project that it's literally going to be 10 minutes long, pray for me. Pray for me, because that's to me, that's like 10 minutes. I wrote a script that's 20 minutes long. Anyway, that's my problem. But in my capstone class for a project that is literally 10 minutes long, me personally, I need to do like 5 different types of research for that project. I need to do anecdotal, historical, what's that shit? Yeah. I'm gonna make my editor list all the different types of research that I need to do right next to my head. I'm gonna text it to her. But yeah, it's just like I need to do a lot of research for this project, okay, to make sure that I am as well versed in this topic as I am, so I could tell a good story. One of the main questions they asked you in capstone is, why are you the person to tell this story? And my story for capstone is named Blair, and it's about a young, helpless romantic that gets visited by 3 ghosts. Yeah, it's really a twist on Christmas Carol. Why am I the person to tell that story? My main character is a Black woman, and it mainly goes over how Black women don't feel like they're enough for love. And yeah, and I am constantly dealing with that problem in life. So that made me well adjusted enough to tell that story, mostly because it also is my truth. Right? Okay. So that brings me into back to Southern Fried Rice, where you have this topic, but where are the people who are well versed enough to tell this story? Where's the research? If you're white, Black, brown, whatever, and you're telling a story about someone that isn't yourself, or a story that you couldn't possibly live, you should do research about it. You should do research. Please research. please. I feel like this topic didn't have enough research because, like, I'll always say this: Black women are the most educated demographic in the whole of the United States of America. Okay. HBCUs, don't take this for fact, but I think there are obviously people who are going to HBCUs who aren't Black. That isn't like some crazy thing, right? So it's just like, and like for some episodes, like she literally says, "Oh, I'm not hard to miss." Like, it's like, girl, I don't think you're the only not Black person going here. And if she is the only not Black person going here, that doesn't feel realistic. that doesn't feel realistic. But I digress. But yeah, it feels like this idea could have been a movie. It could have been about several different characters. Like Joy, for example, I completely understand Joy. I've had to deal with the situations that Joy went through. Okay. Like, obviously I didn't go to a HBCU because I live in New York, and obviously there's no HBCUs around here. Right. So it's just like, I didn't go to HBCU, but I know the experience of being with an inconsiderate roommate. And Coco, there was like, I think episode 3, Coco was an inconsiderate roommate, right? I know having problems with your roommates. I know understanding that your roommate is different than you. And I think Joy's perspective is really interesting. And it should have either been in Joy's perspective or Tammy's perspective. Tammy, once again, is Coco's best friend. But yeah, it's just, this show could have been so much more if we did research, if we knew how to write better, and if we what's the word? I think if we prioritize telling good stories and telling stories that, well, okay, let me put it in a different way. I think if, as Black creatives, if we prioritize putting ourselves in the center instead of prioritizing telling other people's stories, because I don't think this happens in any other problem. Like, I don't think the reverse is hardly happening, where like you have an Asian American creator just really trying to tell the story of this Black person, or just really trying to tell the story of this person, obviously not an Asian person of color story. I don't think we have that problem. I don't think we have that, not problem, but I don't think we have that situation, and I'm just saying, with Black creatives, I just think there is such a lack of representation that maybe we should just, try to educate ourselves more and stick to telling stories that center Black people. But that's my opinion. But yeah, that is my opinion on Southern Fried Rice. And it took me 29 minutes and one take of talking to myself. Hey, party. Woo! Okay. All right, okay. But we still got our lovely, lovely best friend, Gen V. We still got Gen V to cover. We're going to cover her real fast. Okay. I'm not going to keep you guys all day because, like I said, I did one take of talking to myself. Okay. Right, Omar? Omar saw me cry. Omar is scarred for life. Omar is scarred for life. He'll be fine. I'm going to bring out his friend soon. He has a friend named Waffle. You're very happy to see her, aren't you? Yeah, I know. But yeah. Okay. So let's get into our hot best friend, the love of our life. My current show. We go out on dates. We're like best friends. I broke up with 911 and got with her. She broke up with me. We went on a break a week ago. I don't know if she's gonna come back. The creatives of The Boys need to work on that immediately. But whatever. She broke up with me. It wasn't, we didn't break up with each other. She was like, F you, Nyah. I was like, wow. Rude. We only had 8 episodes together. And she was just like, actually, fuck you. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. I mean, I would want you to have 22 episodes, but whatever. I don't make you. I don't distribute you. So sadly, I couldn't put the 22 episode order in. But fine, whatever. Okay. So Gen V premiered in 2023. And it is a spinoff from The Amazing I Love The Boys. From The Amazing The Boys. I love The Boys. I love The Boys. I love it. But yeah. It centers around Godolphin University and its main character, Marie Monroe. I love Marie. But yes, Marie Monroe is also a Black woman. And I don't, before you start, I don't like it primarily because she's a Black woman. I like it because it has good writing. Okay? It's good writing. That's why I like it. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. Okay? That's why I like it. It's really good writing. And I love this last season, but my only note, one of my notes here, I say this with love. She did break up with me though, so I'm still taking that to heart. But I say this with love. The season finale felt kind of rushed. Oh, I'm sorry. It felt kind of rushed. It felt like I've been telling people in my life that I don't like Fantastic Four, like the new one. I don't like the new Fantastic Four because it felt like the pacing in the beginning was really bad to me. I told them I need to rewatch it. I do need to rewatch it. But yeah, that's what this season finale felt like. It felt like I was being like thrown through walls. Because like it was just like, this is happening and this is happening and this is happening and this is happening and this is like it was just like it never stopped happening. Like stuff like I didn't get a minute to breathe after one thing happened. And I guess because yes, it's a season finale, they're wrapping stuff up, but it's just like damn, like I got one moment where Jordan and Marie, okay, spoilers. I got one moment where Jordan and Marie are breaking up. Then I got another moment where Annabeth reveals, I think she revealed, no, she didn't reveal this episode. That doesn't feel right. Yeah, but I got one moment where they're breaking up. Then I have another moment where Marie's just like, actually, I don't feel that special. And then I got another moment where Marie's healing Kate, like fully, like healed her arm, gave her back her powers. I still don't know how I feel about that. We'll get back to that probably in another episode. But yeah, a lot of shit happened that episode. And I was just like, well, damn. Russian is through. But yeah, it was a good season finale. It just pretty much ended with Starlight Annie, love you Annie, and A-Train coming together and pretty much saying y'all are gonna be in the revolution now, so deal with it. And by y'all I mean Sam, Marie, Jordan, Emma, Annabeth, and Kate. Someone pointed out that they would be the new 7 if Andre was still around. And then I proceeded to cry into my pillow. And then I proceeded to cry into my pillow. Because honestly, well, okay, my phone must be a dick. Anyway, honestly, rude, evil, conniving, and selfish. How dare you say that to me? Wait, okay. How dare you say that to me? Because Chase died. And, well, no, Chase. Why did I say Chase? Chance died. So, rest in peace. So yeah, they were right. They would have been the 7. Little asshole. Little asshole. And if you don't know what the 7 are, 7 is supposed to be, a group of superheroes in the boys universe. But, you learn like immediately, like when you watch the first few episodes of the boys in the first season, that the 7 is actually a piece of crap. They're nothing like they say they are. They aren't the heroes that they say they are. So it shouldn't be that surprising. But when you watch the show, it feels surprising. Okay, it felt surprising to me. So rude. Okay. But yeah. So this is just really rude. But yeah, they joined the resistance. So now we gotta see what happens in season 5 of The Boys. Hopefully that happens next year. I swear if that shit gets delayed, me and Eric, the showrunner, me and him are gonna be in the back of the club. Okay. And by the back of the club, I mean in his office where he gives me an application to intern for him. See what I did there? Okay. But yeah, it was pretty good. Just felt like a bit rushed. Ending felt a bit rushed. The MVP of this season, though, however, I could not choose between 2 different people. I couldn't choose between Emma and Marie. They were both doing their little thing. They were both doing their little thingy thing, and I loved it. I loved it so much. Now we're gonna get into the real zest. We're gonna get into real zest of life. Marie and Jordan, season 1, over Marie and Jordan season 2. Which one is better? I'll answer the question for you. It's season 1. I'm sorry. Season 2, they were flopping for me. I just wasn't feeling the love. I obviously, with all the tension that was happening and them arguing constantly, that happened. And I know it got spoiled before the ending that they were gonna break up anyway, but it was just like, damn. And the breakup also felt like really rushed because at the end, Jordan said that they don't want to keep arguing with Marie or feel anger towards her, so they were just like, okay, we just need to break up. We shouldn't be together. We're better as friends. And I was just like, damn. And also, I think The Boys has a chance to do something with Marie or Jordan, or Marie and Jordan together, to do something where both of them are either together or not together, obviously, what I just said. Especially with Marie's character, of putting her with someone who actually can handle the heat. Like in the last season, in season 2, they really established that Marie is a force to be reckoned with. That her bloodbending powers, I'm gonna call it bloodbending because I don't know how to say that whole word, right? So her bloodbending powers, they really established that that was just one part of her powers. Actually, her whole thing, at least to my knowledge, is biokinesis. Yeah. So that's terrifying. But yeah, she does biokinesis, and also she was made in the same way that Homelander was. What you may be asking yourself, what the fuck? Also, yes, what the fuck? But yeah, yeah, it's just, I just wish Marie ends up with someone who can handle all that heat. And I say handle all that heat because also I don't think I've seen something successfully done in media where a powerful, strong woman gets with gets into I'm not going to even say get with a guy. I'm going to say get with anyone who could not handle, but appreciate and love them for who they are. You know? I just haven't seen it. It's most likely out there, but personally, I haven't seen it. So yeah, if you have, please let me on in the comments. Thank you. Okay. But yeah, I think that's everything for Gen V. Is Marie the ender of Homelander? We will see. I don't know. That feels like a complex question. That feels like, should she be the ender? Should she not be? Well, I don't know. It all depends on how The Boys does it. The reason why I don't even want to speculate is because The Boys likes to do what The Boys likes to do. Also, one thing I want to leave off with before we, start wrapping up. Annabeth's vision never came true. Feels like a sign. Like Annabeth, I'm gonna refresh you guys. Annabeth at the end, towards the end of the season, I think it was I think it was episode, the second to last episode, episode 7 or 6. She had a vision of Marie dying. Right. I think it was episode 6. Yeah. She had a vision of Marie dying, something terrible happening to Marie. And usually her visions come true. She even had a vision about their parents dying, right? So it feels like this vision is going to come true, and it just hasn't come true right now. Feels like a red herring when she had that vision in the first place, because I'm just that looks like a very, at least in The Boys, that place that they're in looks like a very generic place. Just saying, it feels like that vision can still come true. And honestly, if I was writing it, that's how I would write it. Not sorry. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of Gen V talk. But let's review our 3 takeaways for today. Let's view them. Hopefully I remember them as I'm going through them. Okay, number 1, numero uno. Representation can be so much fun if we take time and love our characters and just be the best characters we could be. I know that's so aspirational, and you could also use that in life. My camera's also dying, so one was actually not 3 takeaways and one more takeaway. What is the last takeaway? Do research before you do a project, please, for the love of God. And I don't even just mean that with film, I mean that with majority of projects. So yeah, I gotta really end right now. So I love you guys. Don't do any crazy ass shit. Eat an apple. Take care of yourself. You are an actual human being. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. And this has been yours truly with Nyah. Okay, love you guys. I'll see you guys next week. And this has been Ramblings of an Extra with yours truly, Nyah. Okay, bye. Before my camera dies. Okay, go into the comments right now and tell me y'all's idea for next week's episode, because honestly I'm blank right now. I'm drawing blanks. Okay, bye.
Want more? Listen to Ramblings of an Extra on these platforms.